What's up, everybody? Y'all back again for another How To with Master Vizay. Look, congratulations to the Houston Cougars. They are currently now positioned, posed where they should have been, but it needed to be proven on the field. They've already proven that with the victory over Arizona State. Now, what this did, which a lot of people don't really pay attention to, okay, the Houston Cougars pretty much, basically, Arizona State have basically passed the torch to the University of Houston, passed the torch to them, the championship torch. Well, why am I saying that? Didn't they lose to Texas Tech? Or not Texas Tech, they beat Texas Tech. Didn't they lose to Utah? Well, here's the thing. When Arizona State lost their first game in the conference, they didn't have their quarterback. So that wasn't really the true version of Arizona State. And we could probably debate about whatever other injuries they may have had in this game against Houston. But really, their quarterback was on the field. He played until he got injured. But the point is, in this victory, Arizona State gave or passed the torch to the University of Houston. The defending champs of the Big 12, actually, they ain't really pass it. They earned it. So they pretty much took the torch from Arizona State, and now Houston have it. Now they have the flag to take it to the conference championship game if they win out. They're going to have another challenging game coming up with TCU later on in the year, but we'll see how they prevail with that. But most importantly, they have a good chance of winning out for the rest of the season. And remember, with one loss, you are considered for an at-large bid for the playoffs. All of the Big 12 schools just have to remember, with one loss, you are considered for an at-large bid for the playoffs, even if you don't win the conference title game. Now, let's look at these four schools that are in the race. You have BYU at the top, undefeated. You have Texas Tech with one loss in conference, and you have Cincinnati that's currently undefeated in conference, but they have one loss. And then you have Houston. These are the four schools that are at the top of the Big 12, including Utah. But right now they have 2 losses, and that's what's kind of against them, but they are still a good program. So with that being said, you have those 4 schools that are at the top of the Big 12 in a hunt for making it to the title game. Now, this is what I want to point out. BYU finna play Texas Tech next in 2 weeks. That's going to be the biggest game of the Big 12. That's going to be a big game for the Big 12. That week is going to be, one of the many big games, but that is going to be a major game that's going to be nationally televised, and it's going to be a big game for the Big 12. Now, look, this is to the ESPN AP poll voters. Do not listen. Y'all did this early on in the year when y'all threw Texas Tech all the way down to the bottom because they lost a good game against a formidable opponent in Arizona State. Arizona State is a good team, a good brand. They are the defending champs of the Big 12, okay? Until the next one is up, and they kind of gave that to Houston. But the point is, that was a formidable opponent, and you guys threw them all the way to the bottom of the AP polls. Don't do that again. Listen, BYU is a good team that has been proven and are proven. Texas Tech is a good team that is proven and have been proven. These are 2 teams playing each other, 2 great teams playing each other. Both are formidable opponents, okay? And I was told the College Football Playoff Committee is not going to penalize teams who play against formidable opponents and lose. Per Nick Saban, okay? They were in these meetings. They said that they're not going to penalize teams if they lost against a formidable opponent when it comes to this playoff race. So this next big game that's coming up between BYU and Texas Tech, which is two blue bloods of the Big 12, by the way. If you don't know who they are, I'm going to remind you again. The University of Houston, BYU, Texas Tech, Arizona State, even though they got to go through a rebuild, okay? Potentially, UCF, and who am I leaving out? Arizona State. These are the blue bloods of the Big 12. They are who is going to carry the Big 12 moving forward. These are the programs that are solid in the Big 12, okay? These are your new blue bloods of the Big 12, period. Now, we don't have to keep going over these discussions. And don't be surprised by Utah and TCU, period. Now, there you have it. But these two programs are going to play each other in 2 weeks, and one of them have to lose. So AP polls, please don't do what y'all been doing to the Big 12 all this time. Y'all ain't giving them the respect, or should I say the proper accordance for the Big 12, okay? And it has a lot to do with ESPN, because they're not 100% in bed with the ESPN. So they kind of is pushed to the side as this third tier type deal, but on the field, okay, these are proven programs, okay? And one of them got to lose, whether it be BYU. Don't throw them all the way to the bottom of the polls when it's time for re-ranking on that Sunday. We don't want to see that. And if Texas Tech lose, remember, we don't want to see that, because they're losing to formidable opponents, period. Houston lost to a formidable opponent in Texas Tech at the time. So they wasn't even ranked. Now that they are, I just want you guys to really not be biased when it comes to the Big 12, okay? They have good, solid programs, and we want the same due like the SEC, okay? Some of these programs are garbage in the SEC this year, like Texas. They are garbage, but look, they're still in the AP polls. And I can go down a list of other garbage schools. And what I mean by garbage, not to be offended, I'm talking about what they have done on the field. Their work this season has not proved to be better than teams in the Big 12. So when they play this Texas Tech and BYU game, okay, do not put them at the bottom when one of the teams lose, okay? They shouldn't be bumped down no more than 1 to 2 spots. 1 to 2 spots, because these are two solid programs and they are playing against each other. And we just need that same respect when these matchups come up. Like when Cincinnati played BYU. These are formidable games and formidable opponents, and they don't need to be thrown all the way down, because all y'all doing is making way for these SEC undeserved teams and programs to come in. And it's not that they coming in, is that you putting them behind and underneath, and that needs to stop. And that's why we're going to look at the college football playoff rankings when that come out. We're going to see how solid they are with selecting the right teams and doing just to college football, because if you're doing that, you're not really being whole, and the sports is struggling with growing, because these teams are solid and they need to be where they need to be in the sense of playing each other, and someone has to lose, and they have already proven themselves on the field this season. So once again, thank you all for watching another how-to video with Master Vizay. Until next time.